Hi guys, it's Mireya here. So today's video I'd like to discuss some of the different symptoms that I experienced during my withdrawal and how they affected me and how I dealt with them. So the first symptoms that I experienced started immediately, and that was the red, inflamed, and burning skin. And I mean the very next day that I gave up steroids, my skin felt like it was on fire, and I turned this really bright red, and I was covered in rashes from my neck down. And on top of that, I also dealt with nerve pain. And the best way to describe the nerve pain is the sensation of pins and needles all over my body. So that combination of symptoms was extremely painful. So the slightest touch was excruciating. Just putting on clothes was really, really painful. So I avoided it whenever I could. And I really found comfort in taking long baths. So they would last anywhere from 4 to 6 hours and longer on the weekends when I didn't work. And for those of you that are wondering what I put in my baths, I used Dead Sea salt, apple cider vinegar, garlic, and tea tree oil. And I really like those products because they helped in treating and preventing infections as well as treating any wounds that I had. So I would take these baths and it would help alleviate some of the pain and some of the discomfort. I also really recommend looking for loose, comfortable clothing, and I still wear that to this day because I feel like it allows my skin to breathe, and I'm just most comfortable that way. I did try taking pain medication. I tried taking hydroxyzine or Atarax, but that really only made me drowsy. So I tried it for about a month or so, and then I just gave up on it. So definitely the baths helped, and loose clothing. So the next thing that I'd like to cover, and one of the worst symptoms that I experienced, was the itching. And the itching was out of this world. I mean, I felt like I had ants crawling all over my body 24/7. And I couldn't go 2 minutes without scratching myself. And I remember that I would find anything in sight to scratch myself with, and that would just do more damage to my skin because my skin was so thin, so fragile, and I would end up with these horrible cuts, and I'd always be bleeding, and it was just really, really intense. And on top of that, I went through phases where I would get hives, and that just intensified the itch so much more. And the baths really helped during this time as well. Hot baths and hot showers specifically, that just helped calm down the itch and calm down the hives. And something else that really helped me was changing my diet, and I changed to a more plant-based diet, and I also incorporated the medical medium protocol, which is all about implementing healing foods and supplements and avoiding unproductive foods. I know a lot of people might be wondering, how do I know that it was diet that really helped me in my healing? And I know because to this day, if I go back to my old ways, if I start eating whatever I want and just eat unproductive foods, my skin will pay for it. So the itch will come back, the hives will come back, and some of the other health problems that I experience will come back as well. So the best thing for me, for my body, is to stick to a healthy diet, a plant-based diet, and specifically the medical medium protocol. I mean, my skin is at its best. It clears up, it feels great, and it just helped me tremendously. And I'm not saying that you need to change your diet in order to heal. I'm just saying that it's what helped me during my withdrawal. So so the baths and the diet, I really recommend it if that's something that you can do. So another thing that I'd like to discuss is the hair loss. And that was pretty devastating for me. I mean, I ended up with bald spots, and I was oozing and bleeding. It was painful and itchy, and the itch was so intense. It felt like I could feel every hair on my scalp itching. It was just that bad. And it got to the point where I really considered shaving my head entirely. I mean, I saw other people doing it and I just wanted relief. So I talked to my parents, I talked to my partner, I let them know what was going on. And right before shaving my head, I came across this amazing product. And that's the tea tree shampoo and the conditioner. And I mean, that very first week that I used it, it transformed my scalp. It was just that good. The itching subsided, the oozing and the bleeding stopped. My hair stopped falling out like it was, and it was just amazing. I will make sure to post that just in case anyone wants to try it, but I do want to warn you that because it contains tea tree oil, it may irritate your skin. So I would just try a little bit first to see if you can tolerate it. So the last thing that I'd like to discuss is insomnia. And when I'm telling you that sleep was non-existent, I am not exaggerating. I mean, I was lucky if I had 2 hours of sleep. And this happened for about 2 years. Actually, over 2 years. And I felt like I was going insane. I mean, it was just so terrible. And the reason I couldn't sleep was because the pain and the itching and the inflammation was just so extreme. I couldn't lie down on my back. I couldn't lie down on my side. And I mean, I was scratching 24/7. So there was just no way I could sleep. I tried the melatonin. I tried Benadryl. I tried hydroxyzine. Nothing seemed to help. It wasn't until recently that I tried CBD oil that I was finally able to get really good sleep. I mean, I slept like a rock, and I only wish I would have tried it sooner because I really think it would have helped me. So I definitely recommend trying that if that's something you can do. So yeah, so these are some of the symptoms that I wanted to cover this time. The list is endless. I mean, there are so many other symptoms that I dealt with, but I just felt like it would be easier to make several videos discussing them because it is a lot. So yeah, so I'll be making more videos describing some of the other symptoms that I dealt with and just some of the other experiences that I went through going through my withdrawal. And again, if you want me to cover anything, if you have any questions, please let me know because I will be so happy to cover it. And most importantly, I want you guys to remember that you're not alone and you shouldn't have to do this alone because it is very difficult. And remember that it will get better. Have that faith because one day it will be you telling the story. And you will appreciate your life so much more because you have gone through the worst and you will come out of it as a stronger person and a better person. So please guys, don't lose hope. It will get better. And remember, you know, again, you're not alone, so don't do it alone. So on that note, I wish you guys lots of happiness, lots of healing, and I love you guys. Bye.